What are you looking for in terms of like international help? Can we put like I guess pressure on the South African government, like pressure to help the Shackleton movement?
I mean, we as the poor people, we are looking for help in all corners, but we can't describe what help we want, but we'll be happy if we get help, any kind of help, because at the moment, we need to throw everything that we have, and we need people to assist us when we are throwing those things, you know. So I think if there are people who are prepared to help the poor people, they should just do it, you know, because, I mean, it's all we can afford now. We don't have the money to take the government to court. It's very expensive. In order to take the government to court, you need a good lawyer, only to find that you can find a good lawyer, and the government has 10 good lawyers. So it almost makes it impossible for the shack dwellers to win the court cases. So at the moment, I can say we are looking for help, any kind of help.
Significantly, in June of next year, when the World Cup comes to your country, here in the United States, many of the groups that you met during your 2-week stay here will be convening in Detroit, Michigan at the U.S. Social Forum. Have you thought about, and will you think about any way that we can use the communication technology so that while you're in South Africa mobilizing around the World Cup, we could be allies in our U.S. Social Forum in Detroit, Michigan?
Thanks for that. We want to talk about that when we get it home, because we will be having a big meeting and we'll be talking about that. It's a good idea. Yeah.
Plus, we were also in the negotiation stages about the Poor People's World Cup, the real World Cup that's here in the United States. They must have their own World Cup, the Poor People's World Cup. In South Africa and all the countries will also, encourage them to have the real World Cup. The World Cup does not come with evictions. The World Cup that people will feel involved, the World Cup that people will enjoy, not the World Cup that people will be pushed away. The real World Cup, the People's World Cup.
You know, I just want to, for people to appreciate, these two fighters and leaders who've come out of a struggle that very few of us known anything about. I think I want to reference Reverend Mavuso's comment that even though we need to talk about immediate things we can do or try to figure that out, but he talked about the need for us to reflect on what they're doing and reflect on what's happening here in this country, and that we need to organize here. I think what we found in the leadership school, we just had the poverty initiative in West Virginia. We had some other groupings who are fighting in different parts of this country, poverty. They see that their interests are inseparably tied with the interests of the brothers and sisters that are fighting over there in the shackles in South Africa. And they have every bit of interest to make sure that those struggles that are issuing from the people who are actually being affected get known about. All we know is about movie stars over there in Africa helping these poor folks over there around this and that and the other. That's fine, well, and good. There's also people like, these brothers here who are making a fight, who are showing initiative and leadership, not only to improve their situation, but improve the whole country and improve the whole continent and improve the whole world. But we all met together, poor folks, to talk about how their struggle is our struggle. How somehow this globalization and economics ties all these struggles together. And I think that what we should reflect on is not only what we should do immediately, but how we should link up with poor folks who are making a fight here right in our midst, and seeing how those struggles are tied to the struggles of the brothers and sisters in South Africa. People hear what I'm trying to say? Yes. I mean, this clearly, this crisis has brought out that this is a problem that is growing and is affecting the middle class, and it's something that's happening that shouldn't happen with a country and a world that's capable of producing housing and food for everybody. And yet, you have people have a summer house, a winter house, a house in Paris, and you got millions of people ain't got no house, and they're being evicted as we speak. So somehow we're going to have to connect what's happened over in South Africa, what's happened here in the richest country in the world. Because I guarantee you, what's happening in South Africa, some of the people here who are benefiting from poverty or the impoverishment of people here got their thumbs in the problem over there. And I really want to underscore this problem that the Reverend raised about we need to think in terms of how we're going to organize here and connect that struggle to the struggle over there. I mean, that's my comments. And I really applaud them. I was just felt really reinforced. I'm getting old. I can't do what I used to do. You know, I'm ugly. I can scare somebody. I guess that's what I can do. But I'm going to do something. And I think we all should think about what's our commitment to this struggle against poverty in the midst of plenty. And seeing these brothers as a spark in the leaders in our efforts to try to build a global movement to end poverty.
I want to assure you that you were right by talking about organizing here. And also to remind people that we are all victims of of the so-called development. Because we are all evicted in the name of development. We are all evicted in the name of development. And that is happening in the name of democracy. Democracy that is enjoyed and practiced by few representatives. Representatives that were elected by us. And we, the masses, do not enjoy democracy. To get democracy, the masses need to dictate. We need dictatorship of the masses. I want to remind you that we are the victims of the so-called trickle-down economic theory that we are being developed. In some years, these people, after making profit, then that money will go down to the poor after certain years. We need to fight that trickle-down theory now. Thank you very much.
Over 16, 17 years ago, we organized among all our homeless brothers and sisters, and we campaigned vigorously. Organizing, effective organizing is key. We said enough is enough. It's late in the day now, as we know. It's late in the hour. We must organize and hit the streets and apply the pressure to stop the hemorrhage, okay? We organized national marches, national rallies, and we did something that the government or the local national level did not want to see happen. We strategically took over abandoned properties. And then we took over some good houses too. We took over housing in Boston, Massachusetts that was a landmark, a historical landmark. They went ballistic, but we took it over. We would hold on to it for days, for weeks, sometimes maybe for hours. And even if it was for 2 minutes, at least we sent a message to say, no housing, no peace.
I will end by singing. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever.